नारायणं पद्मभुवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तन्तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। We will continue Bhashya. यच्च पूर्वैः पूर्वतरं कृतं कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम् आस्थिता जनकादयः इति तत्तु प्रविभज्य विज्ञेयम्। There are certain statements in Bhagavad Gita which seem to endorse Jnana Karma Samuccaya. One is Purvaih Purvataram Kritam. In the past, the great men, they did karma. This statement is found in chapter 4. Kuru karmaiva tasmatvam purvaih purvataram kritam. So some great men in the past did karma. It seems that they were also jnanis and they were doing karma. Therefore, you also do karma. Seems to support jnana karma samuccaya. Similarly, karmanaiva hi samsiddhim asthita janakadayaha. In chapter 3. Karmanaiva hi samsiddhim asthita janakadayaha. Janaka is known to be a great jnani. So Janaka was a king and he was performing karma. He did not give up karma. Therefore, jnana karma samuccaya is possible. So these two statements seem to support jnana karma samuccaya. Therefore, Purvapakshi might quote these two statements in support of his argument. But then we have already demonstrated that jnana karma samuccaya is not the purport of Bhagavad Gita. Quoting from Bhagavad Gita, we have established this fact. Krishna does not endorse samuccaya. Then Purvapakshi might ask, in that case, how do you justify these statements? Purvaih purvataram kritam karmanaiva hi samsiddhim asthita janakadayaha. Janaka etc. Janakadayaha. Karmana eva. With the karma only samsiddhim asthitaha. they attained moksha. This is Purvapakshi's interpretation. How do you justify this? Then Bhashyakara says, Siddhanti says, it should be understood in a different way. So Bhashyakara explains how these statements should be understood in the light of the other passages of Bhagavad Gita. How this can be understood? There are two possibilities. The first possibility is, supposing that Janaka was a jnani, Janakadayaha, Janaka and other such people, whoever were doing karma, supposing that they were jnanis, yet they were performing karma. It is one possibility. In that case, we have to understand that they were jnanis, and being jnani, they were entitled to give up karma. They could have easily taken to sannyasa, giving up all their karma. Yet, they chose not to take to sannyasa, not to give up karma. Yet they were performing their duties as before as they were doing before they became jnanis. But this karma is karma abhasa. It cannot be combined. It may be one possibility. In that case, in the statement, karmana eva samsiddhim asthitaha, the karmana, this word, we have to take it as saha tritiya. There are various tritiya vibhaktis. The third case, tritiya vibhakti, has many senses. Vibhaktyartha. So one is saha tritiya. Karmana should be understood as saha tritiya. Karmana saha eva, with the karma, not by means of karma, but samsiddhim asthitaha. Samsiddhim means jnana, moksha. Jnana, asthitaha, they stood in jnana. They were jnanis, but they stayed with the karma. They were performing their karma, but it was karma abhasa. This is one possibility. Then there is another possibility also. What is it? Supposing they were not jnanis. Krishna is giving an instance when they were not jnanis. Then karmana eva samsiddhim asthitaha. It will mean that by means of karma, being ajnanis, by means of karma, they got samsiddhi. So in this interpretation, samsiddhi should be understood as chitta shuddhi. Karmana samsiddhim chitta shuddhim asthitaha. Here karmana is karane tritiya, not saha tritiya, in the sense of instrument. Karmana, by means of karma, karane tritiya. The previous interpretation, it was saha tritiya. Now it is karane tritiya. Is it taught? Saha tritiya, karane tritiya. Yeah. So, karane tritiya, karmana eva, by means of karma, they got chitta shuddhi, Janaka and others. Likewise, Krishna tells Arjuna, you also do karma, you will also get chitta shuddhi. So that is how these two statements should be understood. So, see the bhashya. Yaccha, yat vachanam, the statements in the Gita. Purvaihi purvataram kratam. This is one statement. And another is karmanaiva hi samsiddhim asthita janakadayaha. Another statement. Iti. These statements. Tattu pravibhajya vijneyam. Tat. These statements. Such statements. Pravibhajya vijneyam. Pravibhajya. Dividing them into two possibilities. Vijneyam. It should be understood. Tat katham. How is it? How we can understand them, dividing them into two possibilities. Yadi tavat purve janakadayaha tattvavidaha api pravritta karmanaha syuhu te लोकसंग्रहार्थम गुणागुणेषु वर्तन्ते इति ज्ञानेनैव संसिद्धिमास्थिताः कर्मसन्न्यासे प्राप्तेपि कर्मणा सह एव संसिद्धिम् आस्थिताः न कर्मसन्न्यासं कृतवन्तः इत्येषोऽर्थः। तत्कथं, how to understand them. Yadi, this is one possibility. Yadi tavat, tavat is an avyaya, an indeclinable. It has many meanings. Here it has the meaning of firstly, the first possibility, tavat, as a first possibility. Yadi, if purve janakadayaha, purve, the people in the past, janakadayaha, Janaka, and so on. Only Janaka is mentioned. You can take many others also in the Puranas, etc. Tattvavidaha api. So they were Tattvavidaha. This is one possibility. They were Tattvavidaha. We are assuming them to be Tattvavidaha. They were Jnanis. Yet Pravritta Karmanaha Syuhu. They were Pravritta Karmanaha. They were performing karma. in spite of being Tattvavidaha. Then how did they perform karma? Te lokasangrahartham. They performed karma not for any purpose of their own. They don't have anything to accomplish with the karma by means of karma. Lokasangrahartham. For the sake of lokasangraha. We have seen what lokasangraha is, and we will see it in detail in chapter 3. So, for the sake of lokasangraha, for the sake of the good of the world. So, they had the ability to do karma. They don't have anything to gain by means of karma, but they had the ability and the wherewithal to do karma. And they thought, if I do karma, if I do karma, I am not going to lose anything. I am not going to lose anything by doing karma, but others might get benefited. Therefore, why I don't do karma? By not doing karma, I am not going to lose anything. But if I don't do karma, the benefit that others might derive will not be there. But if I do karma, I am not going to lose anything, but others may gain something. This is how they thought. That is why they did karma. Lokasangrahartham. Let me be beneficial to others. Let me be useful to others. With this idea, they did the karma. So, and what was their understanding while performing karma? Guna guneshu vartante iti. The vision of a jnani while performing any physical activity is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita itself. Guna guneshu vartante. The first gunaha refers to my body, mind and senses. They are also gunaha because they are also effect of guna, 3 gunas. Guneshu vartante. They are working on the external world, the objects, which are also 3 gunas. So 3 gunas is Maya, the effect of Maya. Therefore it is mithya. My body, mind, senses are the effect of 3 gunas. Therefore they are also mithya. And the objects outside, they are also effect of 3 guna. Therefore they are also mithya. This mithya is working on that mithya. And the work is also mithya. This is their vision. Iti, with this understanding. So the karma as well as the accessories associated with karma, all are mithya. With this understanding, with this vision, they did the karma. Then it cannot be counted as a karma. Natat karma yena buddhe samuchaya syat. Iti jnanena eva samsiddhimasthitaha. But they did not get samsiddhi with the karma. They did not get moksha by means of karma. How did they get moksha? Jnanena eva. The means for moksha is not karma. It is jnana only. Since they had jnana, they were muktas. Not because they were performing karma. The performance of karma has nothing to do with their being muktas, their being free. Jnanena eva samsiddhimastitaha. Because the samsiddhi, moksha is possible only when you have this vision, guna guneshu vartante, and it is jnana. Therefore, jnanena eva samsiddhimastitaha, natu karmana. Kintu karmana saha vartante, but they remain with the karma. Karma sannyase prapte api. So they had a possibility of karma sannyasa. They were entitled for karma sannyasa because for themselves there is no need of karma. Vidvat sannyasa. Vidvat sannyasa means after jnana you give up karma and take sannyasa. Karma sannyase prapte api. Karma sannyasa was prapta for them. They were ready for it. But then they thought, I don't have to lose anything by performing karma, but others will benefit. Karmana saha eva. Along with the karma, remaining with the karma, samsiddhim asthitaha. They stood in samsiddhi. They remained as muktas. So here samsiddhi means moksha. Na karma sannyasam kritavantaha. They did not do karma sannyasa. Ityeshaha arthaha. This is the meaning in the first possibility. Supposing that they were jnanis. Then the second possibility. Atha nate tattvavidaha Ishvara samarpitena karmana sadhana bhutena samsiddhim sattva-shuddhim jnanotpatti lakshanam va samsiddhim आस्थिताः जनकादयः इति व्याख्येयम्. Atha, on the other hand, the other possibility, atha indicates that it is another possibility, another option. Nate tattvavidaha. If they are not tattvavidaha, if they are not jnanis, they were ajnanis and they wanted to get moksha. Ajnani but mumukshu. Then they performed karma. Ishvara samarpitena karmana sadhana bhutena. They did the karma as an offering to Ishvara. Ishvara samarpitena karmana. Karma they performed as an offering to Ishvara. And it is a sadhana, a means for chitta shuddhi. Sadhana bhutena. The karma yoga, it works as a sadhana, a means for chitta shuddhi. And by means of this kind of karma, samsiddhim, they attained samsiddhi. And here samsiddhi should be understood as sattva shuddhim, chitta shuddhi. Sattva Shuddhi means Chitta Shuddhi. Sattva. Here Sattva means Chitta. Not Sattva Rajas Tamas. Chitta. Mind. So Samsiddhi can be understood as Chitta Shuddhi. Or you can also say Samsiddhi means Jnanotpatti. They got Jnana. Jnanotpatti Lakshanam va Samsiddhim. It is another possible meaning of Samsiddhi in this context. So by means of karma they got Chitta Shuddhi, then they got Jnana. So getting Jnana is Samsiddhi. Asthitaha Janakadayaha iti Vyakhyayam. This is how it should be explained. In the second interpretation, Bhashyakara does not refer to Samsiddhi as moksha, because there is a problem if you take it as moksha. Karmana muktim moksham asthitaha. It is not possible. Karma cannot give moksha directly. It can only help in bringing about Atmajnana. But the direct means for moksha is Atmajnana alone. So, karma gives rise to Chitta Shuddhi. Karma is a means for Chitta Shuddhi. So Bhashyakara takes up this point and gives the pramana, the evidence for this statement. Etamevartham vakshati Bhagavan Sattva Shuddhaye karma kurvantiti. Etameva artham. This fact. What is this fact? Karma is a sadhana for Sattva Shuddhi. Bhagavan vakshyati. Bhagavan will state later on in Bhagavad Gita itself what Sattva Shuddhaye karma kurvantiti. Yoginah karma kurvanti sangam tyaktva atma shuddhaye. It is a statement there in Bhagavad Gita later on. Sattva Shuddhaye. So Bhashyakara does not quote it verbatim. He is paraphrasing. Sattva Shuddhaye, for Sattva Shuddhi, for Chitta Shuddhi. Karma kurvanti, people do karma. So it is a pramana to say that karma is a means for Sattva Shuddhi. Krishna recommends karma as a means for Sattva Shuddhi, not as a direct means for moksha. Swakarmana tamabhyarcha siddhim vindati manavaha ityuktva siddhim praptasya cha punaha jnananishtham vakshati siddhim prapto yatha brahma ityadina. Swakarmana tamabhyarcha siddhim vindati manavaha. This is another quote from Bhagavad Gita. स्वकर्मणा तमभ्यर्च्य यतः प्रवृत्तिर्भूतानां येन सर्वमिदं ततं स्वकर्मणा तमभ्यर्च्य सिद्धिं विन्दति मानवः. Chapter 18, Shloka 46. So Ishvara is described in this shloka, and then in the first half he describes Ishvara. In the second half he says Swakarmana tamabhyarchya, by worshipping Ishvara through one's own karma, one's swadharma, manavaha, a manushya, a human being, siddhim vindati, attains siddhi. Ityuktva. So now one may think, Purvapakshi might think siddhi means moksha. Then Bhashyakara clarifies, don't think siddhi means moksha here, because if you look into the following shloka, the meaning of siddhi is clear. There the meaning of siddhi is not moksha, instead it is chitta shuddhi. Ityuktva, after saying this, in the very following shloka, siddhim praptasya, one who has attained siddhi, cha punaha jnananishtham mokshati, later on jnananishtha is told after getting the siddhi. So after getting the chitta shuddhi, he has to go for jnananishtha. He has to commit himself to jnana. That is when he gets moksha. Siddhim prapto yatha brahma ityadina, by such statements. The jnananishtha is told after getting siddhi. That is why the meaning of siddhi in this context is chitta shuddhi, not directly moksha. Tasmat Gitasu Kevaladeva Tattvajnanat Moksha Praptihi न कर्म समुच्चितात् इति निश्चितः अर्थः. तस्मात्, therefore, Bhashyakara is concluding the sambandha, not the sambandha. Sambandha was already given. Now the Purva Paksha was raised, and because of the Purva Paksha we got into a different discussion. Jnana Karma Samuchchaya Khandanam, refutation of Jnana Karma Samuchchaya. Gitasu, in Bhagavad Gita, Kevaladeva Tattvajnanan Moksha Praptihi. Moksha Prapti is only by means of Tattvajnana. Kevaladeva Tattvajnanat. Kevalat means without the accompaniment of karma. Eva, only, there is no other means. Jnana can also give moksha, karma can also give moksha. It is not the teaching of Bhagavad Gita. There are people who argue that there are many paths for moksha. Jnana yoga, karma yoga, dhyana yoga, bhakti yoga, all lead to moksha. This is an argument. But neither Bhagavad Gita nor Upanishad, not even Shankaracharya support this view. There is only one means for moksha, that is jnana. And how to get jnana? Even to get jnana, there is only one means, pramana. For any jnana, we need pramana. We need a valid means of knowledge. For example, if I have to know the color of this table, I have to make use of my eyes. Rupadarshani chakshuhu pramanam. For Rupadarshanam, for seeing the color of any object, I have only one pramana, only one means of knowledge, and it is my chakshurindriya, my eyes. Only visual perception of color is possible. I cannot hear the color. I cannot smell the color. I cannot taste the color. I can only see the color. And for seeing, eyes are pramana, chakshurindriya. Likewise, to understand Atma, to understand Brahman, Brahmajnana, we have only one pramana, that is Vedanta Vakya. The statements of Vedanta, the statements of Upanishad are pramana. There is no other pramana. Tam tu aupanishadam purusham prachami. Atma, Brahman is called Aupanishadaha Purushaha. Aupanishadaha means known by means of Upanishad alone, is called Aupanishadaha. Na veda vinmanute tam brihantam. Tam brihantam. Brihantam means Brahma, the Brahman. Avedavit, one who does not make use of Veda Pramana. Na manute, he does not know, he cannot know. So Vedanta Vakya is Pramana. Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam. Brahma Upanishadam. So we have enough statements in the Shastra to say that Vedanta Vakya is the pramana for Atmajnana. Therefore, we have to make use of Vedanta pramana. If we need Atmajnana. And the Vedanta pramana also, it works only when it is taught by a guru. Guru Padishta Vedanta Vakya. Acharyavan Purusho Veda. Only Acharyavan Purushaha. One who has an Acharya, a guru, only he can get the jnana. Tad vijnanartham sa gurumeva bhigachet samitpanishyotriyam brahmanishtham. So even the need for a guru is explicitly mentioned in the Shastras. So that is how one can get jnana. So therefore, attending the classes is very important. But then, to be qualified for jnana, one should have the readiness, adhikaritva. How to get adhikaritva? For that we have various other means. Any other sadhana mentioned in the Shastra serves as a means for getting adhikaritva. Whether it is yajna, dana, tapas, the karma, the rituals, or whether it is meditation, upasana, or japa, or pranayama. There are so many sadhanas. Even certain types of pranayama, if it is combined with the certain types of japa, then it can also work as a means for chitta shuddhi. We have pranayama with some mantras, repeating some bija mantras. So there are many sadhanas given as a means for chitta shuddhi. So depending on one's abilities and one's taste, one has to choose these sadhanas. How I can get chitta shuddhi? So all other sadhanas, they are meant, they can bring up to chitta shuddhi. They cannot take you further. They cannot give moksha directly. So that is why Shankaracharya makes a very clear, unambiguous statement. Kevaladeva tattvajnanan moksha praptihi. Moksha prapti is only by means of tattvajnana. Na karma samuchitat. Not the tattvajnana which is combined with the karma. It cannot be combined. Iti nishchitaha arthaha. Iti Gita Shastre Gitasu Nishchitaha Arthaha. This fact is ascertained in Bhagavad Gita. This is the ascertained conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. Yatha cha ayam arthaha tatha prakaranashaha vibhajya tatra darshayishyamaha yatha cha ayam arthaha. So this is the fact of Bhagavad, this is the artha, the teaching of Bhagavad Gita, the purport of Bhagavad Gita. And it will be shown not only here, but whenever the occasion arises. Whenever there is an ambiguity in Bhagavad Gita itself, and whenever there is a possibility for people to misunderstand, Bhashyakara will clarify. Prakaranashaha vibhajya. Dividing the Bhagavad Gita into prakaranas. He will show which is jnana prakarana and which is karma prakarana. Some sections deal with the karma as karma yoga, and some sections deal with the jnana nishtha. So karma nishtha and jnana nishtha, he will divide them. He will mention this is about karma and who is adhikari for it. what is the purpose. Likewise, he will talk about jnana nishtha. So he will separate the two nishthas. Prakaranatah vibhajya tatra tatra, from place to place in Bhagavad Gita, wherever the occasion arises. Darshayashyamaha, we will show. So now the discussion of Jnana Karma Samuchaya has come to an end. Now we can start Shloka 11, which is the first shloka as a teaching, as Upadesha. The Upadesha begins with the Shloka 11. Ashochananvashocastvam ityadi. We will see in the next session. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.